June 27th, I weighed in. I flew on a plane to Spokane, Washington. I got there. I was about 2 kilos over, which is about 5 pounds, which is normal. But the only difference was I hadn't eaten in 3 days, hadn't had water in a day, and I had flown, which usually is supposed to take more weight off, and I had just finished a workout, and I was still 5 pounds over. So for the rest of the day, while my team was weighed in, eating, resting, stretching, I was in a sauna, wearing a trash bag, covered in a Vaseline-like makeup remover that sat on my pores. It makes you sweat more. I did that on and off for 16 hours straight, and at the end of the day, I ended up gaining 0.1 kilos.
I feel like a lot of the time, eating disorders can be disguised and like you don't realize you have it when you do. You know, the fact I weigh myself every day and I'm constantly thinking about what I eat because I have to, you know, it's my job. I want to eventually be a professional dancer, and I do have to worry about the way I look, but it does make you wonder what of those habits are like gateways to eating disorders.
Young adults who develop eating disorders in sports, they are erring on the side of perfectionism, control. Sometimes their coaches or their parents, it's called achievement by proxy. So in other words, the parents or the coaches want to achieve and they sort of get lost in their athlete's performance. So you have those factors sort of complicating things. And instead of developing coping skills, the athlete becomes ill.
Judo, boxing, and rowing often cause males to develop eating disorders because they are pressured to fit into weight classes, while 62% of female athletes struggle with eating disorders. Athletes are being judged not only on their performance and skill in sports, but on their appearance and weight. In aesthetic sports such as ballet, gymnastics, and figure skating, it is easy for athletes to develop eating disorders because they think it will help them further succeed. As devoted athletes compete in top-notch competitive situations, it can cause them to develop unhealthy eating disorders because they are more than willing to put their body in extreme situations due to their love of their sport and their drive for maximum success.
You think you know yourself, but the way that eating disorders work and the way that when you're an athlete, the way your brain starts to work is you see everything that has to align with your sport as a necessity. And you start to like not see a way out of it. So it's like, I have to look this way. I have to do this workout.
9 times out of 10 in judo, I feel beat up, sick, miserable. I don't want to continue, sad. The list goes on. But the thing that makes me do it is that 10th time, that last little bit of it, that 10% of the time. By far outweighs the rest of the 90%. That 10 time when you win. One day I'm 126. That's who I am today. I am 126. The next day I'm 124. I'm 124. I am 3 pounds over. Like that becomes like who you are.
In extreme cases, athletes and people die from eating disorders because their body no longer has the proper nutrients to function. Christy Heinrich was an American gymnast who died at age 22 due to anorexia. Though Heinrich was already succeeding in gymnastics, a judge at an international meet in 1989 told her bluntly that she was, quote, too fluffy and needed to lose weight. Her own coach even made insulting remarks about her size and body. Desperate to move up in the ranks of the highly competitive world of Olympic-level gymnastics, Heinrich took the criticisms to heart. Her drive to lose a few pounds progressed to unhealthy eating habits and eventually became full-blown anorexia, which led to her death. Heidi Gunther was an American professional ballerina who was 5'4" tall and weighed 93 pounds. The average weight for someone of this height is 120 pounds. Heidi had reached the point of being at an unhealthy weight for her height and age and died due to an eating disorder. She was a successful ballerina who felt so much pressure from the industry of ballet to get thinner and thinner that it led to her death. It is disheartening to see that athletes feel the need to put their health at risk to fit the mold of their sports. To think that athletes who you look up to could either be starving themselves or using unhealthy methods to succeed is disheartening and raises question to the competitive sports industry. However, female athletes like Serena Williams and Misty Copeland are changing the standards of female bodies. Misty Copeland is not only the first African American to be accepted into the prestigious American Ballet Theater, but she's also breaking molds with the physicality of a dancer. She is strong and muscular rather than thin, which serves as an example for society that you can still succeed without conforming to a mold. Oftentimes, people associate eating disorders with only females. However, sports with weight classes, which are mainly male, directly cause males to alter their weight and develop unhealthy eating habits. As for judo, if the weight level could be based on natural weight rather than altered weight, like in wrestling, athletes would no longer have to do severe eating restrictions and unhealthy weight loss methods to lose weight. The sports industry is so competitive that athletes will do the extreme to achieve success. However, it's the athletes that are breaking molds that will change the toxic pressure that athletes are faced with.